When it comes to developmental delays, there are three main frustrations that we hear from our parents. The first one is early warning signs were missed. When we go back and ask questions about early development and point out things that were problems, they're so frustrated that nobody told them at that time that that was a problem. Number two, these delays start showing up. A lot of times the traditional referrals are made. We have a couple different therapies we're referred to. But a lot of times nobody can give them that full picture and pull it together. Why is this happening to my child? Why are we having this unique set of delays? What's happening, right? What's the big picture for my kiddo? And number three, a lot of times kids plateau in therapies. We love our speech therapists, occupational therapists, our ABA therapists, early intervention that we have here. But if a child gets into those and just gets stuck, they can't get past a stuck point, this can get really frustrating for parents. They feel like they're doing everything and just spinning their wheels and their kid's not getting anywhere. So when we look at developmental delays, we know that the CDC says 1 in 6 kids have developmental delays. We also know that the CDC has changed some of those milestones, taking away crawling as a milestone, pushing some of the later milestones back. And we really think this does a huge disservice to kids, because when early you can catch these kids in the delays, the faster and the better that you can help get on top of them and get them back on track. This was the story for Collins when she came into our office. She was over a year, she wasn't walking yet, she wasn't verbalizing, she wasn't talking, she wasn't interested in really playing, socializing, and her mom was really worried for her. She knew that there were some milestones that weren't being hit and she didn't quite know what to do. So we got to start with Collins. Within a week, she took her first steps. Within 2 weeks, she was fully walking, started verbalizing, started talking, started playing, started being interactive. We, of course, referred her for some PT, some speech, some other therapies to really come in and help her catch up on those skills that she missed. But unlocking her nervous system was the key to allowing all of these things to fall in place and her to catch up on those therapies. Now, when we look at kiddos like Collins, we want to look back at the history to say, okay, what happened here? Did we have what we call the perfect storm? Early stress in the system. So was the mom super stressed out when she was pregnant? Was there high risk? Was there a lot of intervention? How much birth intervention did we have? How much birth trauma did we have? What were the early stresses that happened to the kiddo? Physical, chemical, emotional? Where did we start seeing those early delays? How soon did it happen? Were they eat, sleeping, and pooping really rock star when they were a baby? Or do we have constipation, sleep problems, eating problems from the very beginning? How did all of these roll together? The more stress we see early and often, the more problems we see later for these kids. If your kiddo comes out of the womb and they are rock star eating, sleeping, and pooping, they're less likely to have these delays later. If they struggle with any of those areas, they're more likely to have these delays, because that shows us that the system isn't balanced. We're more stuck on stress when we can't do those eat, sleep, poop things well early. And that is going to lead to delays, because when we're just stuck on stress, we're worried about surviving. We're not worried about growing, developing, and thriving. And that's the side of the system that we need to activate to hit these milestones. And so this is what happens in therapies too. We're giving them the tools, we're giving them the skills that they need, we're giving them coping mechanisms. But if they're still stuck on stress, those can only get them so far, and they can't get over the hump onto the healing side by themselves. That's where we get to help as pediatric neurological chiropractors, is coming in and helping to get balance in that system, activating that parasympathetic side, the healing side, the growing side of the body, to allow them to use all these awesome skills that they've learned, to use all the therapies, to actually be able to start integrating them fully into the body. Exactly what happened with Collins. She was stuck on stress. We unlocked that. She started doing all of these milestones. She caught up on her milestones. It just felt like that. It was so fast. Some kids this takes longer. Yes, absolutely. Depends on how much stress that we have on the body. But when we're able to get that unlocked and able to move forward, everything changes for these kids, and it is absolutely amazing. If this is your child and you want to find out what we can do to help, send us a message, give us a call. We are absolutely here waiting with hope, help, and answers for you and your struggling kiddo.